What could happen? Anyway, I'm here to talk about what could have happened if the NWO would have stuck with four. You have Hall and Nash, Hogan, and maybe Sean, and Sean Waltman when he came over. Ted DiBiase made a good manager, by the way. So that would have been five. So what would have happened? You stick with the Legion of Doom or the Dungeon of Doom. My bad. The Dungeon of Doom. You know, you have the Faces of Fear in the tag team division. You have the Giant, obviously competing for the heavyweight title. And you have Kevin Sullivan, who's your leader. Hugh Morris probably could have went on and competed for the TV title and the U.S. title, and then you also had Big Bubba, who probably could have been there for the TV title and the U.S. title. So there's another faction. And of course, you had Harlem Heat, who was a wonderful tag team. You had the Steiner Brothers, who was a wonderful tag team. Luger and Sting was a good tag team. And then you have the Four Horsemen. Arn Anderson, Ric Flair. You could have, who's a good tag team at the time. The Nasty Boys was a good tag team. So you had a stacked tag team division. Who else? When they brought in Bret Hart, they could have pushed him for the heavyweight title. You wouldn't have 100 people jumping Bill Goldberg. DDP, you could have put him in the title ranks. So you wouldn't have all these single competitors. The title would have been better. Every title that you have. But honestly, with all these tag teams that were out there, it was wonderful. It made for good wrestling, I think. You had one of the best tag team divisions out there. Rey Mysterio Jr. was good for the cruiserweight division. So you put him out there with a lot of the luchadors. And who would you have competing with the luchadors? Sean Waltman. Six pack. Or 8-ball. Or I think they call him six. So, who else do you have out there? I have to look at some of their alumni. But you had a lot of good competitors out there. Here we go. Here. Brian Adams, when you brought him in. See here. Obviously, you have Randy Savage, Macho Man, Randy Savage. Let me go. don't do that either. So yeah, a lot of teams out there that got affected because of the NWO. You had Chavo Guerrero out there and made good for the cruiserweight division. Kurt Hennig, when he came in, I would have left him alone. And the NWO had so many people. Scott, that's one guy who I would have kept him out of the NWO because he was teaming up with Fire and Ice. That was a good tag team. And even if you were to split those two up, Norton would have probably would have had a title run. And then let's see here, who else can we go under? Alex Wright, he was a good competitor. He probably would have had more title pushes. Like they literally put way too much in the NWO, and your tag team divisions was good. You had a lot of good single competitors out there, but I would have left the tag team division alone. Due to the fact that, and even if you wanted to give them singles belts for singles competition, you still could have kept them as teams. They were really good teams from what I was watching. And then you brought in Bret Hart, and you could have left him as a singles competitor. He would have been a good title holder too. But they brought in way too many people in the NWO, and I think it just killed it. You should have left it at 4. And I think it would have kept eyeballs. I really do. Marcus Bagwell. They brought him into the NWO. So there goes the American males. And you literally had over half the roster on the NWO at one time, and what felt like it. Jeff Jarrett. Yeah, Fit Finley could have given him a couple singles competitors for title runs. So you could even give Kurt Hennig a couple runs. So, my mind, the NWO, the real version, the Too Sweet. Had to throw that out there. With the Bullet Club. Yeah. But again, you still would have had Harlem Heat. You still would have had the Steiner brothers. I honestly think to this day, if you don't put everybody on the NWO would have been what, just 4 people, 4 to 5 people. But putting everybody on it just killed it, ruined it, ruined careers, ruined lives, ruined wrestling for what it was and what it is today. And like, I understand they set it up as their own organization, which is nice, but at the same time, you split everybody up. You should have kept teams together. If you would have kept those tag teams together, you probably could have gone at it as an invasion angle. But I would have just kept it as the people who you're signing over from the WWF. So maybe put Macho Man with the NWO. You know, you had DiBiase on there. Oh, shit. I'm tired, man. Yeah, it was a good time to watch wrestling. You wanted to know what was going on Monday nights. You always flipping back and forth. But the more I look into it today, the more I think about it. Well, what if you just kept it, left everybody alone, and you could have had a lot of feuds with the NWO. I don't know whose idea it was to put everybody with the NWO. But what would have happened is still would have had Harlem Heat, Steiner Brothers. Again, you had Roddy Piper who came out. The Ultimate Warrior came out. And they all could have fought against each other too. Like, instead, they made it seem like the way that they it felt like they were going about it is you're either a face with WCW or a heel with the NWO is what I got out of it. And I just think that they put too much into it, and it blew up. But I would have kept that at 4. The WWF in their Attitude Era, yeah, you had DX, yeah, you had the Dungeon of Doom, but that wasn't just it. Like, everybody, you had all these factions, but at the same time, everybody was competing for different titles. The NWO, you had way too many people, and it just killed it. And destroyed. Like, you got to keep it at like 4 or 5. Look at how many belts you have and keep it at that. Then later on, a couple years down later, you had what, B team, A team, Elite, Wolfpack. Like, it just blew up. Like, everybody was riding it, and it was like, you had too many people for one bus. You know, like, dang, like, or wait, you have a circus car, little clown car, like a little Volkswagen, and he had like 500 people trying to ride that one little Volkswagen, that one little slug bug. Like, so I would have left it alone, left it at 4 people, keep it at that. I think it would have been a lot better, but because with the Giant, Paul Wright, the Big Show, or I think it was the Giant at the time. So I would put him with Kevin Nash and Scott Hall. You know, that would have been a good rival with Hogan. And later on down the road, they brought in Sean Waltman. But they just started bringing in people after people after people. And it was like, oh my God, just leave it alone. Like, all these tag teams that you had, all these competitors that you had, like, you didn't have to bring it in as like a whole separate organization. You just leave it. If you would have just left it alone, it got way too big, and ratings were big at first because he wanted to see who was going to join, who was going to be the next one in, who were they going to go after next. But after that, it was like, shut it off. Too many people's in. And that wasn't the only thing that destroyed WCW. A lot of things did. But I think with the NWO, if you would have left it be, you would have kept your eyes. And then I look at some of their matches. If you had Twitter and Facebook, Hulkamania is coming back, or the Red and Gold came back. Oh my God. Oh, like some of their matches in like 99, 2000, and then 2001. If you would have had Twitter and Facebook, then holy cow, with all these hashtags, oh my Lord. And Twitter would have fucking broke. Pardon my French, but it would have broke. And you would have had a lot. You would have had a ton. But that's my thought on the NWO. You know, just leave it be. So yeah, we should have just left it be.